there was a priest in Kent, I think 100 years ago. He made a sermon that someone wrote it down, and it's this classical picture that we see in Matthew's Gospel about the final judgment, where the Lamb is there separating the sinners and the one who should go to heaven. Henri Drummond, he says that the only question that God is going to ask you is not what you made wrong. It is, did you love enough? So I think that this is the basis of our life. If we love enough, then you justify your life. But to love enough is not to sacrifice your love in the name of others people love. For example, I see a lot of people blaming husbands, wives, children, parents, and say, I cannot do what I want to do because I love them. I think that people who really loves you, they'll be happy to see you happy. Do you understand? We talk about this episode with my parents when I was 17 and 18. And I remember 3 or 4 years later, we're sitting around the table having dinner, because I never saw this as a punishment or they want to destroy me. I said, this is a manifestation of love, because they love me and they want to protect me. But they told me something. My mother told me, she said, thank you. I said, thank you for what? She said, because you persevere in your dream. And somehow you changed us. And I said, oh, I feel very moved by hearing these words, because at the end of the day, people who loves you and you go for your dream, they may react a little bit at the very beginning, but then they are going to understand, and they are going to support you, and they're going to, yes. And
did your parents live to see your great success?
Well, my father is still alive, but it's quite abstract for a writer to be conscious about his own success, let alone to the father of the writer.
Oh, I think my dad would have been thrilled if he'd seen Bill Clinton reading a book that I'd written.
Yeah, but then I remember when my book started selling well in Brazil, well, let's talk about 50,000 copies. That is quite impressive, either for UK, for Scotland. My mother said, oh, I met someone, it was her hairdresser. She's a friend of yours? I said, no, why? Oh, she's reading your book. I said, so my mother thought that only my friend read my books.
So she thought you had like 50,000 friends
yeah,
just
probably.
Just in Brazil.